What's up mga ka-Hardwood? We're back at it again with another video. Kasama ko ngayon si Joseph at si Lex. And let's get right on into it. So for our Hardwood headlines, we have the first game, the Nets versus the Spurs. Harden returns as Nets defeat the Spurs. So James Harden posts 18 points and 11 assists. And off the bench pa yan. So very impressive comeback para dito kay James Harden. For our second game, we have Lillard and McCollum combined for 56 points as they defeat the Jazz 105-98 for their 9th win in the last 10 games. So, very good win para dito sa Blazers as they defeat the number 1 seed in the West. And for our third game, we have Horton Tucker stepping up for the Lakers. So, the Lakers defeat the Rockets as Horton Tucker, Drummond, and Kuzma each tally double-doubles while AD sets out. So, no surprises here. We all know that the Lakers are a good team compared to the Rockets since ang Rockets ay number 15 in the West. So, sila ay nasa dulo. And for our last game, we have the Mavs winning over the Pelicans as Doncic leads them. He tallies 33, 8 and 8 with 7 3-pointers to help Dallas take the win over the Pelicans. Okay, so that's it for our Hardwood headlines. Konting pinasadahan lang natin to have an idea kung ano yung mga naging results today. So for our first game, we will be looking at the game between the Nets and the Spurs. Okay, so for our first game of the night, we will be watching the game between the Nets and the Spurs. The Nets are currently second in points per game. Let's go, James Harden. And they are currently first in field goal percentage for each game. What a dunk by KD. Samantalang ang Spurs naman ay second
best small forward in the league.
Hindi totoo yan. Ang best small forward para sa... Oh! What
Alam ko na kasi nasabihin na best small forward dito.
Siyempre, kilala mo na yun, boy. None other than Tatum.
Andrew Wiggins. Ay, akala ko din.
Anong Andrew Wiggins? Lasing ka ba, ha? Andrew Wiggins. Di ba kahit ikaw hater ka ni Andrew Wiggins, ha?
Naka-38 points siya ng isang araw, eh. Or kahapon ba yun?
What a pass by James Harden. Kaso kala ko dadakdak na yung Blake Griffin yun. Si James Harden parang di na-injure, eh. No? Parang ganun pa rin, eh. Pero wala nangyari. Oh, what a pass.
Kahit na ang kanyang last game ay April 6, 2020 pa, no?
Oo nga, eh. Partida pa yun. Ang tagal hindi naglalaro. Pero ngayon, kita mo naman.
Nakabalik lang.
Kabalik lang, tapos ang lakas pa rin. Oh, kita mo naman, no?
At hindi siya tumaba. Ayun ang...
Oo nga, at least hindi tumaba. Parang ako lang, ah.
James Harden averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists per game. Meron siyang 36.3 sa shooting sa labas. Ayan, oh.
Grabe. And
makita niya yung percent niya sa ano.
Nagsishimmy pa, eh.
So, tandaan natin, bago siya umalis, isa siya sa top 5 MVP candidates.
Nice pass. Ay, hindi na mag-MVP yan ngayon for sure. Kasi marami siyang na-miss na games, eh. Pero kung siguro nagtuloy-tuloy siya, pwede. Baka pwede siya mag-MVP. Kita naman natin, James Harden winning it for the Brooklyn Nets in his comeback. Grabe.
Sa game na rin ito na kasama na si DeJounte Murray sa Spurs na naka-score ng 1,000 points this season. So kasama niya dun si Tony Parker sa si Johnson. So
yeah, so we'll be heading to their game stats.
Okay, so for our game stats, papasadahan lang natin saglit. Brooklyn is plus 12 in assists, plus 7 in blocks, and shot 61% from the field tonight. Samantalang ang Spurs naman, they shot badly from the field tonight, only shooting 42.6% from the field and only 25% from 3. So I think this is largely because wala masyadong shooter ang San Antonio. Meron ba? Parang wala, di ba? Parang wala, eh.
For this game, parang wala.
Lahat sila nanlatay.
I mean, even if as in sa team nila, parang si Patty Mills lang yung shooter nila.
Patty Mills, saka si
Walker. Saka yung si Johnson.
Walker.
Yung Keldon Johnson. Yun, diba? Parang sila lang. So, I think this is no surprises here. Everyone expected the Nets to win. And if you expected the Spurs to win, either you're a Spurs fan, a Nets hater, or may tama ka lang talaga sa utak. Okay. So, for our player of the game, we have none other than the Beard Harden with 18 points and 7 rebounds to go along with 11 assists in only 26 minutes of playtime. So I think ito is off the bench to, tama ba? Off the bench.
Yes, off the bench.
Grabe,
it's his first game back from injury.
off the bench tapos ikaw player of the game in your tas partida kakabalik mo lang galing injury. I think
Sabi niya pa sa isang statement, no, hindi daw siya nahirapan sa pagbabalik because he is really good at this game. So talagang magaling lang daw talaga siya mag-basketball. Kaya ganun.
Hindi yun, sabihin na mayabang siya. Yun lang masasabi ko doon.
Dapat isama rin sa stats niya yung weight niya, which is 99 kilo. Which is surprising, hindi nadagdagan talaga.
Grabe ka, Lex, ha?
Okay, so
lock in talaga tong si James Harden for this season and talagang championship or bust ito for the Brooklyn Nets.
Kailangan mag-champion. Matatawa ako pag di sila nag-champion. Kuha pa sila ng maraming all-stars, wala naman nangyari. Okay, so
for our game results, we have the Spurs and the Nets. Nets winning led by Shamet, 21 points on 5 triples, and then DeRozan on the other hand with 21 points of his own on 9 of 14 shooting. So Murray and Mills also had 15 points apiece. And then for our second game, we have Washington Wizards versus the Atlanta Hawks. So the Wizards still without Bradley Beal. So 34 points, 15 assists para kay Russell Westbrook after breaking the all-time triple-double list last game against also the Atlanta Hawks. So Trae Young, mini sweep series sa kanilang season series dito. So Trae Young with 33 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists to lead the Atlanta Hawks with Bogdanovic with 20. And then ang ating third game, we have Boston Celtics falling down again. So they are at 35 and 35. So saktong 500 with 29 points from Jason Tatum. And then from Cleveland Cavaliers, vintage Kevin Love tonight as he showed up with 30 points, 14 rebounds with Colin Sexton adding up 28 points. So ang ating next game would be the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets. So abangan natin yan.
Okay, so for our second game, we will be watching the game between the LA Lakers and the Houston Rockets. So konting team stats lang before the game starts. LA is currently 5th in blocks. Samantalang ang Houston naman is 10th in 3-pointers made per game. So let's see what will happen in tonight's game. I think wala si Anthony Davis and si LeBron James, tama ba? Pareho silang wala in tonight's game.
And Dennis Schroeder.
Wala rin si Schroeder. So it is up to Kuzma and THT to win the game for the LA Lakers. Sa mga nagsasabi na banu si Kuzma, try nyo kaya sa kalabanin ng one-on-one. Tignan natin kung makapalag kayo.
Matry ko nga. Isa ako sumayin eh.
Paisa nga. Oh, what a dunk. Sino ba to? Mukhang kilala yun, pero nice dunk.
Hindi nakilala yung mga nasa lineup ng Houston.
Oo nga eh. May isa lang ako kilala dyan, yung Kenyon Martin Jr. Kasi
saka,
Kenyon Martin dati.
Olinik.
Christian Wood.
Ay, si Christian Wood injured eh. Wala siya sa official lineup. Oh! What a dunk. Grabe yun eh.
Parang natakot tuloy akong kalabanin.
Ito mabiling yun?
Hindi ko alam. Parang hindi naman. Parang clean naman. Nice pass. Let's go.
Binulang si Olinik eh.
Sa tingin nyo po ba, makakasama pa rin ba sa 6-man of the year itong si Montrezl Harrell?
I feel ko hindi na. Hindi na. Parang medyo hindi na siya nagpo-perform as well eh.
Sobrang lakas na niya eh.
Iba siya. At saka, alam mo yun, parang iba siya nung... Parang hindi na nga siya 6-man ngayon eh. Siya ba 6-man? O si Schroeder?
Diba? Schroeder, starting point guard.
As the LA Lakers win over the Houston Rockets, partida wala pang Anthony Davis tsaka LeBron James yan.
Pero dalawa lang ang lamang nila.
Pero at least. Okay, so for our team stats. Okay, so for our game stats, papasadahan lang din natin to. LA is plus 36 in points in the paint. They outscored the Houston Rockets 86-50 in the paint. Samantalang ang Houston naman is plus 11 in 3 points made. So imagine, I think the LA Lakers only made 7 3-pointers tonight. Pero ang Houston ay naka-18. So feel ko medyo dun sila nagkatalo eh. I mean, 'di ba?
Inside versus outside.
Inside versus outside game tonight. But ultimately the LA Lakers were still able to win, and that's all thanks to Talen Horton Tucker. So sino ang ating player of the game?
Player of the walang iba kundi si THT.
Talen Horton Tucker with 23 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, 9 of 16 from the field, and 5 of 8 from the free throw line.
10 assists yan. Sorry, 10 assists.
Kahit na, di ba? Impressive pa rin. 10 assists, di ba? 10 rebounds man yun o 10 assists.
10 assists.
I think,
isa siya sa mga gustong i-acquire sa trade offers, no? Pero walang nag-success dahil ayaw talagang pakawalan ng Los Angeles Lakers itong si THT.
I think hindi nila dapat din nila pakawalan to si THT kasi malaki potential nito eh. Kahit nung nasa bubble. I mean, nung nasa bubble nga inaasar pa siya na ito yung parang susunod siguro na magiging Caruso kasi hindi naglalaro eh, 'di ba? Ganun, parang bangko kasi siya. Pero ngayon, 'di ba? Tingnan mo, pinapakita niya na malakas talaga siya. Feel ko ito na yung next LeBron James.
Huli na nila palitan yung point guard nila.
Sino mo point guard nila? Hindi ko nga alam sino eh.
Si LeBron. Joke lang. Joke lang, syempre.
Hater ka.
Hindi, si Schroeder point guard nila. Mali okay. Pero free agent, contract season kasi ni Schroeder on the off-season.
Kaya KCP, Kentavious,
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Yes.
For our last game, we will be watching the game between the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trail Blazers. So currently, sa 3-pointers made per game, number 1 ang Utah and number 2 ang Portland. So I think this is gonna be a shootout between these two teams. And let's see what will happen. I think wala si Donovan Mitchell tonight, tama ba?
Yes, for at least 1 week. So baka next week pa siya makabalik for the playoffs na.
Oh, grabe.
Grabe ang Pinoy pride, Jordan Clarkson.
Pinoy yan. Melo, showing off the rage. Grabe, namimiss ko na yung dating Melo.
Vintage Melo. Denver Nuggets Melo. Or New York Knicks.
Nuggets Melo malakas.
Ayoko yung Knicks Melo. Gusto ko yung Nuggets Melo, yun talaga.
Nuggets Melo mo mataba natabad eh.
Pero magaling. Full court pass to CJ
iba
McCollum.
yung Denver eh.
Grabe.
Nice buzzer beater from CJ McCollum.
Second half.
Nice hook shot. Ay, joke lang. Sapa.
Grabe yung green.
Pinalipad.
Ay, goaltending.
Goaltending pala.
Pababa na eh.
Sayang.
Goaltending. Naka-isa si Nurkic doon
Si Gobert.
I mean, naka-isa si Nurkic, naka-score siya eh. Hindi ba kinount? Hindi ba na-count? Dapat dakdak na yun eh. Kung ako yung dadakdak ko na yun. Kung ako.
12-point lead for Portland entering the fourth.
Damian Lillard.
Ang taas, grabe. Takot kay Gobert eh. Ang taas ng layup eh.
Carmelo Anthony.
Melo. Ay, alam mo sino pala pinakamalakas na Melo? Hindi Nuggets Melo. FIBA Melo.
Tama naman.
Ang lakas ni Melo pag FIBA, bro. Grabe
kasi interest kasi sa FIBA pang Asian. Pang Pinoy.
And the Portland Trail Blazers able to win over the Utah Jazz. Grabe, what an upset. Okay, so for our team stats. Utah is plus 14 in rebounds. They led the Trail Blazers 53-39. Pero kung titingnan nyo, every other category, lamang ang Portland. So, my question for you guys is, sa tingin nyo ba, natalo ang Utah Jazz dahil masyado lang talagang malakas ang Trail Blazers tonight? O dahil wala si Mitchell? Do you think kung naglaro si Mitchell, iba ba yung storya? Nanalo ba ang Utah Jazz? Kasi we all know they're number 1 in the league right now. And syempre, malaking bagay si Donovan Mitchell doon. I don't think kung wala si Mitchell, huwag na number 1 ang Jazz. So sa tingin nyo ba is ganun kalaking factor si Mitchell na kung nandito siya tonight, mananalo ang Jazz? So ikaw muna, Joseph.
Yan. So I think yes, iba yung result ng game na to if andyan si Donovan Mitchell, of course. Siguro much more closer or baka even a win by the Utah Jazz since ang Utah Jazz ngayon ay has the best record at home. So talagang hindi ko inaasahan na mananalo personally itong Portland Trail Blazers on the road against the Utah Jazz. Pero yun nga, defensively talagang lock in itong Portland as they held Utah Jazz to 41% shooting and also 30% from 3. So beba natin makita yan from the Trail Blazers na talagang they're locking down defensively.
Okay, ikaw naman, Lex. Ano sa tingin mo?
Para sa akin, ganun din po. Iba talaga yung epekto ng isang Donovan Mitchell. And sa tingin ko, isa din pa na naging factor is yung efficiency. So, kita naman natin na lamang ang Portland Trail Blazers kahit saang percentage. And we all know that Utah Jazz struggles to shoot the ball as they are locked in. Makikita naman natin kung naging efficient lang talaga sa field itong Utah Jazz. Talagang close out nila yung games. We know that Joe Engel shoot only 4 out of 13, so 30% lang siya sa field. Sobrang laking kakulangan nun para sa isang Joe Ingles na inaasahan pa naman siya dahil wala itong ang kanyang pagka-veteran na kasama ng pagkawala ni Donovan Mitchell. So iba, ayun yung mga key points na pwede nating makita na nagkulang itong Utah Jazz.
Okay, so ako personally, I think kung nandito si Donovan Mitchell, baka hindi naman tambak, pero I think mananalo ang Jazz by at most 10 points. Kasi hindi rin naman natin pwedeng i-discount na talagang the Portland Trail Blazers are an excellent team on both sides of the court, offensively, defensively. And syempre meron silang all-star dito. Actually hindi nga lang all-star, superstar, which is Damian Lillard. So I think, pero still, I think Donovan Mitchell is an excellent player, potential MVP. So I think the Utah Jazz could have won this game kung nandiyan si Donovan Mitchell. Second question naman, speaking of the Jazz, since they are number 1 in the West currently, sa tingin niyo ba abot sila ng finals or hindi?
Hindi sila abot ng second round.
Okay,
Golden State ang kalaban nila.
Hindi ko alam kung matatawa ba ako sa'yo o maaawa kasi parang may tama ka ata sa utak eh.
May Golden State bias po dito.
Okay.
Alert.
Pero hindi nga, legit. Sa tingin nyo, kung hindi sila abot ng finals, hanggang saan lang sila abot? Sige, ako muna. Ako personally, I think kung umabot sila ng Western Conference Finals and ang makatapat nila is sabihin na nating Phoenix, kunwari, sila magtapat. I think they could advance to the finals if Donovan Mitchell will play up to his full potential. I think, ako personally, I mean, sige, sabihin na natin na ang Phoenix meron niyang Chris Paul. Pero ang experience kasi ni Chris Paul, hanggang saan lang ba? Second round lang.
Conference Finals.
But still, hanggang conference finals. Pero si Chris Paul kasi, hindi naman siya yung main factor sa Suns ngayon. I think it's still Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. And itong mga to, I would pick, personally, I would pick Donovan Mitchell over Devin Booker any day of the week. Kung tatanungin niyo ako dati, Devin Booker ako. Pero seeing yung difference nila sa performance, mas all around kasi si Mitchell. And I think, if nagtapat sa conference finals ng dalawang team na to, baka Utah Jazz ang mag-a-advance to the finals. Sila yung ang mga katapat nila Celtics. So abangan niyo na lang yun guys. Jazz versus Celtics.
Meron din po tayo ditong Celtics bias.
2021 NBA Finals. Boston versus Utah. Abangan niyo yan guys. You heard it here first. Okay,
hindi nga nila natalo yung Miami Heat ng dalawang last games eh.
Pinagbibigyan lang nila yun. Ikaw, Seth. Ikaw.
Sige, ako muna. Sige, call me crazy pero I think kung Golden State makakalaban talaga ng Utah Jazz. After ma-upset ng Golden State on back-to-back nights ang Utah and ang Phoenix on 30% 3-point shooting, hindi magandang shooting ni Steph and 2 wins yon. I'll be disappointed kung matatalo Golden State. Dati wala ko expectations pero after those 2 games, parang it's a disappointment kung matatalo sila sa Phoenix Suns or sa Utah Jazz ng first round. Kasi nasabi ko sa inyo.
hindi ko talaga alam kung matatawa ba ako o ano eh. Kasi, oo nga, may point naman. May point naman. I mean, syempre, hindi mo naman pwede i-discount na si Steph Curry is a 2-time ba 3-time champion?
2-time MVP, 3-time champion.
3-time champion. So, syempre, may experience na yan. So, I think, medyo nag-agree naman ako kay Steph, pero natawa rin ako. At the same time.
Kulang pa rin Arsenal. Kulang pa rin Arsenal ng Golden State.
Ikaw, Lex, sa tingin mo, saan, kung hindi man magpa-finals ang Utah Jazz, sa tingin mo, saan sila matatalo? Saan sila may iipit?
Sa conference finals.
Sino ang mga kalaban nila?
For me, ang makakadali sa kanila is the sleeping LA Clippers. Hindi Lakers LA Clippers.
Clippers din ako.
Talaga. We should not let out of this talk the LA Clippers kasi we all know na hindi pa masyadong bumubuga itong si Kawhi Leonard. We all know that nananalo ang LA Clippers because of Morris and Paul George efficiency. Sila muna yung nag-step up and we should not forget that meron silang addition sa arsenal nila which is si Rajon Rondo. Talagang makikita natin yan sa playoffs. So kung magkakatapat Cousins pa. So kung magkakatapat sila sa Western Conference Finals, siguro talagang kakainin ng LA Clippers tong number 1 na Utah Jazz.
Okay. Aminin ko sa inyo, nakalimutan ko na malakas nga pala Clippers this season. Kasi hindi ko sila ramdam eh. Kaya hindi ko sila nabanggit eh.
Oh, hindi pa nagpaparamdam yung cyborg na si Kawhi Leonard eh.
Cyborg.
Okay. Pero after hearing your opinions, I think oo nga, feel ko may ipit sila sa Clippers. Or sabi nga ni Joseph sa Warriors. Okay, so for our next agenda, we will be looking at our player of the game, which is none other than Damian Lillard. Dame time. Dapat nilagay niyo dito yung picture niya na yung na-shoot na yung buzzer beater.
Tapos na yun eh.
Okay lang, nakakatawa yun eh.
Mas maganda yung nakaganon siya kay Russell
Yung
Westbrook.
nakaganon siya kay Westbrook ba yun? Kay
Paul George, nakababay.
Kay Paul George. Okay, so Damian Lillard scoring 30 points to go along with 6 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And meron din siyang 2 blocks. So I think si Damian Lillard is primed for another deep playoff run. But sadly, I think masyadong maraming malakas sa West ngayon and hindi sila abot ng conference finals. But I think pag nag-second round sila, okay na rin yun kahit pa paano. At least umabot sila na second round, diba? Kaysa naman hindi.
Not bad, pero tingin ko syempre parang disappointment para sa Portland if second round lang sila.
Tagal na kasi talaga nila naghahabol sa playoffs eh.
Pero I think hindi sila abot ng conference finals personally. I mean, hindi ako hater. Pero I think hindi talaga sila abot. Okay, so for our remaining game results. Okay, so for our first game, na-discuss na natin to, Lillard versus Clarkson and the Jazz, no Donovan Mitchell. So ultimately, the Jazz lost. For our second game naman, ito rin ay napanood na rin natin, the Rockets going up against the Lakers. But we were not able to mention kung sino yung top player sa Houston Rockets. Kasi hindi ko rin siya kilala. Sino ba tong Brooks na to? Hindi ko to kilala. Sinong Brooks to? Hindi na rin alam, no?
Harmony Brooks.
Diba? Sa mga viewers namin, kilala niyo ba yon? Diba? Hindi?
Unknown na masyado yung lineup nila. Since James Harden left.
Okay, so and another notable player dito is si Martin Jr. Pangalan nito is Kenyon Martin Jr., right? So I'm assuming tatay nito si Kenyon Martin na dating nasa Nuggets.
Yes, Nuggets and Nets.
Nuggets and Nets. Okay. Kita mo naman. 20 points, 10 rebounds. Parang tatay lang niya. So, tingnan natin kung mag-flourish yung career nito. Kung ma-overshadow ba niya yung tatay niya. Kasi mukha namang okay yung stats niya. Or baka mahina lang mga teammates niya. So, tingnan natin, guys. So, for our last game, we have the Pelicans going up against the Mavs. Luka Doncic doing what he does best. Obviously,
Luka Magic.
33 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. 50% from the field, so very good shooting night para dito kay Luka Doncic. Hardwood Jr. also, very good scorer, 27 points. 10 of 18 from the field to go along with 4 rebounds. And Kristaps Porzingis, 19 points and 5 rebounds. So parang yun ko lang ulit narinig si Kristaps.
First game niya, back from injury.
Okay. So very impressive comeback game para dito kay Porzingis. Naka 19 points agad siya in just 23 minutes of playing time. Sa kabila naman, nothing notable since wala naman si Zion, wala rin si Ingram. Tama ba?
Yes.
Eliminated na ang New Orleans.
They are officially eliminated from the play-in. Play-in muna, hindi pa playoff. So I think kaya naman nila bumawi next season. Tingnan natin. Knowing na mataas ang upside ng mga players nito. Pero pa silang Jackson Hayes. So watch out for that guy.
Yes. Well, actually, hindi pa pala sila officially eliminated. Pero very unlikely na makahabol sila since kailangan siguro nila manalo ng the rest 3 games and then kailangan matalo ng Spurs for 4 games para makahabol sila.
Mahirap na yun, bro. Para sa akin, baka bawi na lang sila next season.
Next season na lang.
At least napatunayan naman ni Zion na hindi siya bust. Kasi in terms of stats, maganda naman binibigay ng numbers sa
Jamoran pa rin.
Kailangan niyang magpapayat talaga para maging pwede siya for 40 minutes. Kasi yung 30 minutes lang siya, parang malaking dagok yun sa kanila.
Okay.
Hater ako ni Zion eh.
Ayun lang. Okay, so for our standings naman, next slide please. Next slide, standings. Okay, so for our standings, nothing much has changed. Ganun pa rin naman. Kung ano yung nakita ni last time, ganun pa rin naman. But Utah Jazz, Phoenix Suns, Clippers, Nuggets, Trailblazers, and Mavericks, I think they have already clinched their spot. O hindi pa ba?
Lahat ng may X is clinched.
Lahat ng may X clinched. Sabihin, sa East, yung 1 to 6 clinched na. Pero
yes,
sa West, 1 to 4 pa lang. Okay. So congratulations to the New York Knicks officially making the playoffs after so long. Sa wakas. And I think ang sa play-in naman sa East, Celtics, Hornets, Pacers ay officially pasok na sa play-in. Pero bakit yung Wizards at Bulls hindi pa clinched ang Wizards sa play-in?
Pwede pa kung makahanalo tong Bulls ng tatlo.
Okay.
I think,
so may chance pa sila?
Sa kanila siguro yung tiebreaker in terms of kung magtatay sila nitong Wizards.
Okay. So, ikaw, sa tingin mo, sinong mas likely na pumasok dito? And ikaw personally, sino chini-cheer mo na makapasok sa play-in?
Magsi 7 and 8 sa East. Siguro for
me.
Yung
as in yung sa 9 and sa 10.
10 and 11. Sino ang
chini-cheer mo? Oo, 10 and sa 10. Sino yung papasok? Wizards o Bulls?
Wizards kasi medyo alanganin na yung Bulls eh. Although I like the Bulls better dahil Zach LaVine and Vucevic new combo, syempre exciting, pero bigay muna natin sa veterans na sila Westbrook and Beal.
Okay. Ikaw Lex, short answer lang. Sino mas gusto mong makapasok?
Sabihin ko sana Raptors baka sabihin yung Mesira o Luway.
Wala na, may bilog na Laglag
na. May bilog na eh.
May bilog na eh. Sorry na lang. Pasensya ka na, God bless.
Pero for me, Wizards, since the Russell Westbrook is proving something, lalo na nakuha niya nga yung all-time record sa triple-double.
Ako rin, I think ang sayang naman kung hindi sila makapasok ng play-in man lang. Kasi grabe, napaka-historical ng season na to para kay Westbrook. So ako personally, gusto kong makapasok ang Wizards. Okay, sa West naman, pasadahan lang din natin. I think clinched na ang top 4. Pero yung play-in situation, medyo malabo pa kasi dikit-dikit sila eh. So sabihin, yung Portland, pwede pa sila mag-play-in? May chance pa? I mean, kahit sabihin mo slim chance, may chance pa rin, ganun. Tama ba?
2 losses from Portland and then 2 wins from the Lakers.
Oh, grabe.
Kasi last 2 games na lang din eh. Kailangan matalo ng Portland 2 games and then kailangan manalo ng Lakers 2 games.
Okay. So, sa mga Portland fans dyan, wag muna kayo magdiwang dahil hindi pa sure ang kanilang slot sa playoffs.
Yan. Last 2 games ng Portland is tomorrow, Phoenix Suns. Yan, nasa schedule. And ang last game nila, Denver. So talagang yung mga Lakers fans na gustong makaalis sa play-in, may tsagasa pa. Pero kung ako Laker fan ako, mas gusto ko sa play-in kalaban Phoenix kaysa kalaban Clippers.
Actually, oo nga, totoo yun. Kasi mas may experience ang Clippers. And ang Phoenix, kahit nasabihin mo sila ay number 2 ngayon, I think parang after so long, ngayon lang ulit sila papasok ng playoffs. Tama ba? Tagal na nila hindi nagpa-playoffs eh.
I think yung sa lineup nila, si Chris Paul and Crowder lang yung may playoff experience eh.
Okay, I agree. Sa play-in naman natin, mukhang may chance pa na malaglag ang Spurs from the play-in situation. Tama ba? May chance pa na makapasok ang Kings.
Yes.
So, sa tingin mo, makakahabol pa ba ang Kings or sure na ang Spurs?
Medyo alanganin eh. Medyo alanganin since wala din si De'Aaron Fox for the Kings.
Tama.
Medyo risky pero and Spurs tingin ko at with 1 game makaklinch na nila eh. I think with 1 game pwede na i-clinch ang kanilang play-in appearances.
Play-in appearance. Ikaw naman Lex, sa tingin mo, kaya pa ba ng Kings or Spurs na talaga yan sa 10th?
For me, kalaban nila ng Spurs is New York Knicks. And sino ba ang after ng New York Knicks? I don't know, hindi ko sure. Pero sa tingin ko, for next season na yung Sacramento. Para sa San Antonio na
sila. Okay. So, for our playoff picture naman, playoff picture, I think wala naman difference to sa standings. Basically, pinapakita lang niya kung ano magiging itsura ng playoffs. Kaya nga playoff picture eh. So, pinapakita lang niya kung ano magiging itsura ng playoffs. Pero na-discuss naman na namin more or less yung mga mangyayari, mga situations. And there is nothing to be discussed here anymore. This is just to give you a preview kung ano yung magiging itsura ng playoffs in the coming weeks. So, before we end the vlog, Joseph, may gusto ka bang sabihin sa ating mga viewers?
Ito lang, quick question lang. Based sa picture na to, and for example, gagamitin natin yung Lakers na 7 as 7 seed, Warriors at 8 seed, and same case sa Eastern Conference. So, if gagamitin natin yung picture na yan, ano ang pinaka-exciting na playoff match-up series? And sa tingin mo, sinong lower seed ang may most potential upset? Siguro top 2 na potential upsets.
I think mas malaki ang potential na maka-upset ng Lakers or Golden State because their superstars have playoff experience already. And hindi naman porket mababa yung seeding nila ay automatic na mahina na silang team. Kasi the playoffs are a different it's a different animal. Ibang klase ang playoffs eh. Kahit sabihin mo malakas ka no regular season. Just because malakas ka sa regular season doesn't mean malakas ka sa playoffs. Kita naman natin last season, 'di ba, si Paul George. Example, si Paul George. Ang lakas niya nung regular season. Ang lakas niya sobrang nung regular season pero nung playoffs din naman wala.
Pandemic
diba?
P.
Wala eh. So I think may chance na maka-upset dito yung mga teams na may veteran playoff members. So for example, Lakers, ang dami sa kanila nakatikim na ng playoffs eh. Isa nga doon, nag-champion eh. Diba? I mean, di lang isa. Pero apart from LeBron James, nag-champion na rin si Marc Gasol, di ba? Last season. Last season. So di ba, ang daming may experience sa kanila eh. And ito namang Golden State, I think with the leadership of Draymond and Curry, I think kaya nila maka-upset. Kahit na hindi ako fan ng Warriors, kailangan ko sabihin.
Tawa-tawa ka pa kanina. Agree ka din pala.
Kailangan ko sabihin. Nakatawa lang ako kasi parang nakakatawa kasi magsalita. Alam mo yun? Parang napaka-bias kung magsalita eh. Pero yun.
So, ikaw, Lex, anong upset sa'yo dito? And anong most exciting series to watch?
Para sa akin, most exciting is, ayun nga, LA Lakers saka Golden State. And sa East naman, para sa akin, most exciting is the Indiana versus Washington Wizards. Because we know that amazing yung pinapakita ngayon ni Domantas Sabonis and with tas grabe din yung Bradley Beal sa Russell Westbrook duo. So talagang makikita natin dyan. And additional din pala sa Pacers si Caris LeVert. So talagang makikita natin yung yung addition sa kanilang mga lineup. And para sa akin sa upset naman siguro yung sa Boston.
Golden State.
Golden State.
For me, Boston sa East. Kasi we know the eagerness of Boston. Kasi last season, nag-conference final sila. Siguro, hindi nila hayaan na madala sila for the play-in lang.
Ako naman, dadagdag ko lang. Hindi ko pala nabanggit na yung sa East. Kahit na Celtic fan ako, feel ko yung mga top seed lang yung mag-a-advance dito. Like yung talagang may deep playoff run. Kahit na Celtic fan ako, feel ko di sila aabot ng second round. Or for example, basta kung sino yung malalakas sa East. Example, Atlanta versus Miami. Feel ko mag-a-advance dyan is,
Miami
pa. Ito lang siguro. Feel ko ito lang yung maka-upset. Miami. Pero for example, Milwaukee versus New York. Automatic naman Milwaukee na yan. For example, ang maglaban is Philadelphia versus Charlotte. Kung iboto niya Charlotte, siguro may tama na kayo sa utak, di ba? I mean, obvious naman, di ba? And Brooklyn versus Boston. Hindi kaya ng Boston eh. I don't think
walang Jaylen Brown.
I mean, kahit may Jaylen Brown kasi, wala silang solid big man eh ang Boston. So, alam mo yun.
Undersized lang.
Undersized talaga sila. And kahit sabihin mo na magaling na
offensive. Meron silang Taco Fall.
Hindi pa okay si Taco. I mean, okay lang, malaki. Pero yun lang, malaki lang siya.
Favorite.
Malaki lang. Pero ayun, I think for me yun, wala. Sa East, kung sino yung malalakas ngayon, sila lang rin yung mag-a-advance. Sa West kasi maraming potential for upset eh. So, yun.
New York Knicks okay ng playoffs, no? Pwede na silang manalo sa matalo.
Okay na yung first round exit, at least nakapag-playoffs, diba?
Sige, so salamat sa inyong takes. So, sige, personal opinion ko naman, most exciting series. Sige, doon din ako sa Lakers versus Suns since Paves led by veteran leaders, Chris Paul and LeBron. And then sa Eastern Conference, I think sige, Atlanta, Miami since medyo match, I think would go 6 or 7 games. Pero I think I don't really call it an upset since hindi naman ganun kalayo yung record nila, pero I think it would go for the Miami Heat since talaga experience sila dito.
Jimmy Butler pa.
So before we end, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Noah?
Okay, so for our sponsors, thank you to SM Supermarket for sponsoring this video tonight. Salamat sa inyo, SM Supermalls. Alam namin na talagang kating-kating na kayo na makipag-collab sa amin. Gusto nyo magpa-sponsor sa amin ng mga supermarket nyo. Pero sorry guys, next time na lang. Pero thank you sa sponsor. We'll get back to you. And another sponsor is Julie's Bake Shop. Julie's Bake Shop, thank you dahil sinagot nyo ang pandesal namin kanina habang nag-aalmusal. Maraming salamat sa inyong
pandesal habang nanonood ng NBA games.
Maraming salamat sa inyong walang sawang pagsuporta sa aming video. Talaga naman ay nakakataba ng puso ang inyong pagsuporta sa amin. Okay, so that's it for our...
Makakatabading chance.
Oo nga eh. Thank you guys. Thank you talaga. Okay, so
And,
that's it for our... Okay, go, Sep.
Shout out sa Titan. So yung raffle namin, paki-ayos na lang. And pakipadala.
Oo nga pala.
So,
Oo nga pala.
Ayos po ng web ng raffle nyo. Daming bots.
yan. So, thank you very much everyone for watching another episode of our vlog. So today is May 13 and tomorrow we'll see you again for another episode and for another set of games and highlights. So thank you very much and see you tomorrow.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Let's go. Tatum out.
Mamba out.